Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be to all our listeners. This is our third recording. I have in my studio my usual guests, Tuba and Yahya. Tuba, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
Yahya, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Thank you for joining us today. I'm just going to reduce the volume so that we don't get any echo. They can see me doing that there. Right, today's sentence. Yahya, could you read it, please?
Although something the terms bug and insect are blank, the former term actually refers to blank group of insects.
Okay, and then we have 5 possibilities there. Right, there are a couple of things we want to start off with is just looking at this word although. Now, what does although mean?
Even though.
Even though, but why do we use although if we start a sentence? What are we trying to say in the sentence?
The difference between, like some of the things have this, but even though there's this thing, still there's a common.
Okay, what we're saying is that the pattern of logic is going to change. So if we remove the although from the sentence, if we just wrote some think the term bug and insect are something, the former term actually refers to something else. So what the although is actually telling us is that if you think this in the first part of the sentence, the second part of the sentence says almost the thing that you're not expecting. That's why you have the although. Okay, so when you see that although, it's immediately telling us that the second blank is not going to be something we expect. Right. Terms. What's a term?
A word. Name.
It's a name for a particular thing, usually used within a particular field. So in science we have scientific terms. For example, an electron, it's a term. A neutron, proton, element. The word element in chemistry is a term that refers to something which is indivisible as long as it maintains a particular chemical property. But the word element in English can also mean a part of something.
Or literary term.
Okay, so or literary term. There's another example. So here we have 2 terms. One is called bug and the other is insect. And is there a difference between the two?
Yes.
You think there's a difference between the two? Okay, right. So the former, what does the former mean?
The first. Bug.
The first term. What's the opposite of former? If we want latter, how do we spell latter?
L-A-T-T-E-R.
L-A-T-T-E-R. Good. The former term, which means the bug, actually refers to something group of insects. So now we're going to look at these words here. Now, although some think the term bug and insect are
parallel.
What kind of word are we looking at? Are different or the same?
Same.
The former. So what we're looking for something that's going to change the meaning. The here, if we said are the same, then we'd want to say refer to different groups of insects. If we said different here, then we want same here. Okay? Because how do we know that those two are different? Because of this magic word here, the although. So the although is actually giving us the clue to the relationship between these 2 words. Okay? So if we look at the word parallel and identical, okay? What does parallel mean?
Same.
Parallel could mean the same, but
not.
It's not really the right usage. What does parallel literally mean? What 2 things are parallel? 2 lines are parallel. In other words, they never meet. Okay? And identical, you could almost say that one line is identical to the other line. So are these 2 words somewhat similar in meaning?
Yes.
Yes, so then we know that this can't be right, because the although is telling us that that's different to that. Okay? Precise and exact. Okay, precise means something that's very precise. It's got the same meaning as exact. Again, so that can't be right because these 2 words are different. How do we know that? Because of the although. Let's switch down to useful and useless.
They're 2 opposite meanings.
They're 2 opposite meanings, so that's a possibility.
But they don't make sense.
But they don't make sense. Very good. Although some think that the terms bug and insect are useful, the former term actually refers to a useless group of insects. Well, bug is not a useless group of insects. They might be useful because bugs do what? They eat. What's a bug? Give me an example of a bug.
Honeybug.
A honey bug? What about cockroach? Could you call that a bug?
No, it's a bug.
That's a bug. It's a bug. Or millipede, centipede. What do these bugs do? They eat dead leaves. They eat dead things. Cockroaches eat dead things. They don't never eat living things, and so they recycle things. So they're not useless. So that doesn't really fit in there. So we're really left with C and D. Now, exclusive and separate. What does exclusive mean? You might see it on shops. It says exclusive deals, 10% off.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Great.
Not great.
Really good. Good.
Only at this shop. Exclusive deal.
Like only in one place.
Only in one place. Excluding other places. It's exclusive. Only found here. Separate.
Separate. Different.
Something on its on its own. Only in one place. So exclusive and separate are roughly the same meaning. So even without knowing what C means, we know that C's got to be right. Okay, because we've excluded all the others. So the key is understanding all the other words in the sentence. Okay, interchangeable and particular. What does interchangeable mean?
Like they can change. They're different. Yeah.
No, doesn't mean that. It's interchangeable. If I use the word bug or I use the word insect, it doesn't matter. They're interchangeable. I can change the word bug for insect and I can change the word insect for bug. But a particular group of, if something is particular, what does that mean?
It's specific.
Specific. If something's specific, can we use another word in its place?
No.
No, it's not.
Interchangeable.
It's not interchangeable. So here's, we've got this combination of pair of words which have got the opposite meaning in general, which fit nicely. Although some think the term bug and insect are interchangeable, in other words, you can say the word bug or the word insect, the former, the word bug, term actually refers to a particular group of insects. It's not all insects, it's just a particular group of insects. So not every insect is a bug, or is that the right way around? Not every insect is a bug, but every bug is an insect. Excellent. Right, so that brings us to the end of today. We're just going to click on submit and see how we did. So I've clicked on C and I'll click submit and let's have a look. And alhamdulillah, we got it right. So let's go over to our daily hadith. Yahya, please, could you read our hadith for today, please? It's in the collection of Tirmidhi.
I give charity without delay, for it stands in the way of calamity.
Calamity. What's a calamity?
Destruction.
Destruction, big disaster. Okay, so giving charity, helping the poor people without delay is, I think here, I'm not too sure, but I think the word charity here is referring to zakat, the obligatory charity. And if you give it without delay, in other words, you give it straight away when it's due at the end of the year, or when the agriculture, when it's the time for harvest, if it's plants, or it's the time for giving the crops. If you give it away straight away, then it'll help you avoid any great disaster in your life. Right, that brings us to the end of our lesson today. Thank you very much for joining us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.